Hello again and welcome to another episode of Mindfulness, week 51, Mindful Fun and Play. And the quote for the week, "Then all of living, how much fun and laughter. Life is to be enjoyed, not just endured," by Gordon B. Hinckley. Does mindfulness sometimes feel like serious business, especially at the beginning of a mindfulness practice? It can feel like hard work. Staying present, noticing thoughts, returning to your breathing over and over again. Choosing mindful ways to deal with difficult emotions. Does it always have to be so challenging? It is true that mindfulness is a practice, and any practice requires repetition, discipline, and plenty of failures and disappointments before it becomes effortless. The ultimate goal of mindfulness is to find joy in each and every moment, but it takes cultivation to realize that goal. In our adult lives, we struggle more than we did as children to experience pure joy in the moment. As children, our play was fully in the moment. We didn't ponder whether we were having fun, we just had fun. As we grow older, we lose the capacity for unadulterated fun. This week, we will focus on giving yourself over to fun and play, as we did when we were young, without judgment or analysis. Day 1 journal prompt. Today, I think about all of the things that feel like fun and play to me and that bring me joy without self-judgment. These are the things. Day 2 through 7 journal prompt. I choose one item on my list and give myself time to enjoy it today. With the mindset of a child, this is what I did and what I experienced. In the Bible verses for this week, in Ecclesiastes 3:12 and 13, I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God. And the reflective questions, when was the last time I allowed myself to truly enjoy life without guilt or restraint? How can I recognize joy and laughter as spiritual gifts rather than distractions? And what activities make me feel most alive and connected to God's goodness? And the spiritual insight for this verse. God delights in our delight. Joy and play are not luxuries. They are divine invitations to experience the fullness of life. Mindful play helps us rediscover gratitude, creativity, and the present moment. It reminds us that holiness and happiness are not opposites, but rather companions on the journey of faith. In Matthew 18, verse 3, truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And the reflective questions for this verse, how can I reclaim the childhood qualities of curiosity, wonder, and joy in my daily life? What barriers, like fear, perfectionism, or judgment, keep me from simple enjoyment? When do I feel closest to that childlike sense of trust and openness? And the spiritual insight for this verse. Jesus reminds us that spiritual life is not about becoming more serious. It's about becoming more sincere. The childlike heart is open, playful, and full of faith. In play, we forget self-consciousness and rediscover innocence. When you play mindfully, you enter the sacred space of freedom where the soul breathes easily again. And in Psalm 16, verse 11, you will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence and the pleasures of living with you forever. And the reflective questions for this verse. How does joy connect me to the presence of God? In what ways can I invite more playfulness into my spiritual and daily routines? What does the pleasures of living with God mean to me personally? And the spiritual insight for this verse. Mindful play is worship in motion. It's joy meeting presence. When you laugh, dance, paint, sing, or explore with full awareness, you participate in divine creativity. Joy becomes a form of prayer, expressing gratitude simply by being. Every moment of laughter is a quiet thank you to God for the miracle of existence. And in conclusion, mindful fun and play reawaken the soul. When we engage with life playfully, we dissolve barriers of fear and self-criticism and remember that joy is sacred. Play brings balance to mindfulness. It's not only about noticing pain, but also about savoring delight. This week, let your inner child run, dance, create, and laugh without purpose or outcome. In doing so, you return to the heart of mindfulness, the joy of being. And the closing affirmation for this week: I welcome joy into my mindfulness practice. With a heart of wonder and gratitude, I play in God's light and live in His joy. Thanks for watching until the end. I'd love to know what you thought about the video layout this week. Drop a line below. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out the description box for the links to my ebook, Finding Your You-Ness, Journey to Self-Mastery. And I'd like to personally invite you to join my weekly prayer and support group, Zoom meeting, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Both the ebook and the weekly group will guide you while providing the encouragement and empowerment that we all need but don't like to ask for. Thanks again for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your presence here is greatly appreciated, as your engagement on this channel helps others to find its content for their own benefit, all part of the collective healing efforts across the globe. Namaste, namasko.